Ladies and gents, welcome to a special edition of Big Red Barrel's The Big Red Ramble. I'm Kev, and I'm joined by Matt.
Hello.
And Ono Video Games Duda, Josh.
Hello.
And Matt is also from
OMVG.
Right, so...
Tom and Martin aren't here because they're locked on the disc. That's
yeah, you have to download them later.
That's a joke.
Yep.
That was a video game
special
joke.
code. We're all
and
nerds
this
here.
is a video game.
It
Boy,
is.
howdy, is this a video game?
Right, so I discovered this existed this morning when it came up on my Steam front page, and I thought, you know what? That's got snails in it. So I'm gonna pay £10 and see what it is.
Is that really the only prerequisite for why you buy games? You just want to find out if there's a snail?
Pretty much.
Sweet. I'm
No,
okay with that.
I mean,
what
I've
other
had-
famous games have snails in it?
Final Fantasy
I
5.
guess.
Viva Pinata, does that have snails?
That totally has a snail. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
There we go.
Snails, they're the first-person shooter of animals, I think, in video games.
Well, now that we've got the important shit out of the way,
Yeah.
so this is the... What was it called? The Legend... I can't even remember the fucking name. This is how new it is. The
Legends of
The Legend of Grimrock. It's about
No,
Transformer.
it's not
Dinobot.
Lock, it's Rock, is it? I forget.
It
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
sure.
I keep calling it Grimlock because that's the Transformer I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's... For years I've had in my mind the idea if I ever got to build a game, it would be a first-person roguelike. And this is... It looked kind of similar, so I decided to spend £10 on it. It's not a roguelike at all, really. But it is fun. It's, if you remember The Eye of the Beholder, which is a very old game, that may have even been before you guys got into video games.
That's a good chance.
Definitely.
It was on the Amiga. So,
You are...
Beholder.
I might not have been alive.
Yeah. So that was an Amiga game. It was a D&D game, and the idea was you used a mouse only, and you navigated around these dungeons in first-person view, and you could turn on the spot and strafe and move forward and decide to interact with things in front of you. And this is essentially what this game is, and you'll see more of that when the actual gameplay kicks in, and this incredibly long, complicated character generation part is over and done with.
That's a cool
So,
name.
Cow,
That's
yep,
a very cool
sure.
name.
That's
Wait,
Cowman. I was in a
you
bit
get-
of a rush to name my
you get-
characters.
You get more than one character to mess around with?
Yeah, so you get 4.
Dang.
That's
but it's
cool.
a
Characters.
first-person game, so how do you have 4 people?
Yeah, it's a bit bizarre. You walk around as one camera, but it's insinuated that you're walking around in a 2x2 grid of people. And the people on the front row, because you can reorganise the grid how you like, the people on the front row are the only ones capable of melee attacks, and the people on the back row get hit last when things are attacking you.
Huh.
So
Okay.
there's a bit of strategy there, I guess. But that's really the only thing that the 4 people have for you, like, that changes things up. Each of them you can be a different class and race. You got like your human, minotaur, lizardman, insectoids here, and they all have different starting abilities.
I thought that you were calling him Seal, and like I was thinking he was like the seal that sang "Kiss from a Rose."
Yeah,
Sure.
he's on the Batman Forever soundtrack.
Yeah.
but not in the film.
Like what? That was such a weird choice for song for the Batman soundtrack, because that's
Yeah,
like
it was.
really emotional and hard hitting, and you know, kind of an incredible song, and yet.
And then it got attached to that film.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that is a way to get that song out there, but you know, they didn't necessarily need that as marketing. It holds its own. It's a fantastic.
Hey, to its credit, that song's still around today. I
Yep.
hear it sometimes in the pub.
It's true. You see that episode of Community with it in? So it's real good.
I'm going to be really, really...
You've never seen Community, have you?
Do you know what? I've watched an episode.
Yeah.
My girlfriend maybe watched an episode.
I've watched
And I said my
less than
favourite
that.
character was Chevy Chase.
Yeah, he's okay in it. I recommend checking it out a little bit more, because
I fully intend to. I've got Netflix. There's absolutely no reason there was a
nice jump.
thing there.
What's that? What's that third guy? He looked like an alien.
Yeah, he's a lizard
Oh.
dude.
So the
And
thing
the
about
final
Community is,
Yeah, go for it.
that's right. Yeah, So for the first season of that show, it's this like proper sitcom genre thing where it's, you know, it does its own. It does its own stuff, and then in the second season, it subverts other sitcoms So pretty much every episode of that is like an example of a type of genre of sitcom. It's kind of meta, and in a really interesting way that I think people should check out.
I fully intend to. I've heard nothing but good things about it for ages.
Yeah.
I just haven't got around to it yet. I'm currently in the process of rewatching the entirety of Farscape. Don't ask me why.
Dang. I met Christopher Judge once. That was interesting. Like my first gaming thing that I went to ever, he was trying to plug that he was the voice of some Dead Space character in one of the straight-to-DVD movies.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Chris Judge still getting work.
Yeah. He
Stargate's gone, but he's still about. He
is an incredibly large man.
Yeah.
And he drank his weight in red wine that night. So that was
that's a
really
lot of
fun. I have this video. Oh, we actually want to talk about the game? Yeah.
Hey, we're in the game.
Oh, wow. Alright, I'll do this one more. Like I have this amazing video of Tim from BigRedBarel UK trying to take a photo of him and some fan of his, and it going horribly awry. That I've just never done anything with, and it's one of the funniest things in the entire world. So, listeners, if you want to see that,
you should do something with that.
Of video. Maybe I should. Yeah.
Are you writing notes on your map?
Yeah. So
that's cool.
You get the option to turn the map on or off before you start the game. Having it on is useful because obviously you just then open your map and write notes on it. But the game also suggests if you have it off, make sure you've got a bunch of graph paper so you can draw your own dungeons. Which I think is fucking brilliant. So, yeah, as you can see, you're just walking around. You're using the, to use PC lingo, the WASD keys to get about it, but you only move one square at a time. It's all grid-based.
It's a bit like Persona 1.
I've never played it.
Oh, it kind of approaches like first person in this way, where you have a grid that you go past. The other reference I could do is that old Windows 95 screensaver.
Oh shit, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a weird thing to say.
It was, yeah.
Nice. Makes about as much sense as everything else we've done so far.
Yeah.
Ta-da! Right, so this game is good.
Thank you. Yeah. Alright, so that was the...
That's it.
This has been a feature. Mm-hmm. Do you guys want to know anything about it?
Yeah.
The video kind of speaks for itself. I just want to know if you've got any questions. Oh, this is a spell system.
Oh, Jesus.
So, as you unlock spells throughout the game, you've got to level up and unlock spells, but it never tells you how to cast a spell. So there's those 9 runes there, and you've got to figure out the combination by entering any number of combinations into that rune system, and then once you finally figure it out, you'll be able to use the spell. But you have to key in those runes every time you want to use the spell.
Oh, man.
Is there
it's like Magicka, but...
It's exactly like Magicka, and people who have any idea about my interest in gaming know that I fucking loved Magicka.
Is there like a delay on you being attacked? Do you get enough time to key it in, or is it real time in that aspect?
It's all in real time, but everything is sort of time based, so your enemy can't attack you like just constantly. You've got time to fiddle around with all your characters.
That's kind of cool.
With melee, you've got the option to just click on one of your weapons and that'll do it instantly anyway. The magic thing takes a little bit longer, but that's because it's a lot more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And you can queue up your magic before you go into battle, so I could actually go onto the rune screen, enter in the runes, and then just wait until I find something to kill, and then right-click to do it straight away. These notes are all around the dungeon as well, and they're very nonsensical a lot of the time. That one just said loose rock, which took this bit here, this is the second time I played this part, but it took me about 45 minutes to find that.
Oh, wow. That's pixel hunting. That's awful.
It's fucking ridiculous. But when you've seen that once, like every time there's a secret button in the dungeon from this point onwards, it looks exactly like that brick. So it stands out if you know what you're looking for.
You said earlier that this isn't a roguelike, so these dungeons aren't randomly generated?
They're not randomly generated, no. It's one dungeon with several floors that I can tell. I don't know, I'm only on the second floor where I currently am. But they intend to release DLC for it. Here's the snail, guys.
Oh, shit!
No!
Get a stone, snail.
Throw that snail.
You like being set on... Oh, man, this is... This is a serious snail up in this.
Oh yeah, it knows its business.
This is giving me the creeps.
You know the worst part about this is at this point in the game, my female character in the lower right there, I don't know what her spell combination is.
Oh,
I couldn't
right.
figure it out. So at this point, she's just fucking useless.
Just like every other woman, innit? Oh, shit. Oh, it's just banter, love it. This doesn't mean nothing.
I'm not touching that with a barge pole.
No, I don't mean it. I'm being a horrible misogynist for comedic effect.
That's what we do. This is the Big Red Misogynist podcast. Welcome.
You should read all of my writings about how I find misogyny terrible.
Right. Yeah. So that was a snail.
Mm-hmm.
A misogynistic snail.
Yeah.
Snail.
Yeah.
I haven't been drinking, I swear.
Yeah. So, what other enemies can we look to find, or is that a bit of a spoiler?
It's not really a spoiler. There's some knights that wander around with fucking great big spears that can spear you from like 2 grid spaces away. So you can only hit those guys when they move into your grid space in front of you.
But the plus is that they can only move in an L shape, so you're okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's a good joke there. Thanks.
You're on fire tonight.
Yeah.
As per usual. I was watching the Tribes Ascend ramble earlier, when you were just throwing out jokes that no one in the world would understand constantly.
I still think that video is great.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, we should have really done a proper thing about us intercutting it with the Ski Sunday music. Yeah, it's perfect.
So is there a cooldown on the attacks? You can't just spam melee or...
No, as you can see, they fade out for a bit, and then once they fade back in, you can use your attack again. That's how the system stays balanced, and it works pretty well. I didn't really have any trouble with combat on the first floor of the dungeon. The second floor, shit gets real. It gets real!
Dude, yeah, snail meat. Oh, so you have to...
Snail slice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got a food bar there.
You do. Is that for every character, or is...
every character has one.
Oh dude, I love this game.
Right, but unlike what I originally thought, you don't actually die when you starve. Mm-hmm. You just stop regenerating health and magic. Completely.
Okay. That's interesting.
Should a character actually run out of health, they stay dead until you find there's like a life crystal, but only one exists on each floor of the dungeon, and it's locked behind several doors. So if you lose a character first thing in a dungeon floor, that character's gone until the end of the dungeon floor.
Can you store those life crystals, or you have to...
No, they're massive, blue bastards that just sit in the corner of a room. You gotta go up to them and click on them. So
can you come back to them later if you lose a character?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, that's pretty cool. It's a good concession.
It's alright. I'm trying to think of what else goes on in this. There's a lot going on in this game, and it's been impressing me all day, and now I'm struggling to think of things, weirdly.
Is there different types of things that certain characters can wear and certain characters can't?
No, clothing's not restricted at all. There's a couple of abilities during character creation that are very species-specific. Finding keys. Finding fucking keys in this game is a nightmare. So getting through these floors requires you to find a certain amount of keys for these locks. And, for example, there's one key on the second floor, and this is a bit of a spoiler, but trust me, I'm saving you an hour of work if you ever play the game.
Thanks.
On the first floor of the game, all of the keys are pretty obvious. They're on a shelf, or they're on a floor, or something really simple. This is a puzzle where it tells you to throw something, so you throw something and there you go, a rock lands on a pressure pad, and there's a key on a shelf. Nice and simple. In the second part of the game, they hide keys underneath environmental objects. So you have to go and, I was outside of a jail cell, and on the inside of a jail cell there's a couple of bits of clothing, and I had no idea that you could interact with things through the gate, because you can't fight stuff through gates. So it occurred to me that you probably couldn't pick things up through gates either. So after an hour of running around, I finally figured out that you could, and I picked up a tunic, and underneath it was the key that I've been looking for the last 60 minutes.
Well, I don't like that face.
Yeah, it's a bit freaky. So again, that clue's just heal my sight. And it's
go find some eyes.
Do you just need to put fire in his eyes? Or
you got to find gems.
Oh right, okay.
Then slot them in.
Yeah.
This game just
whoa,
Jesus!
Freaky things. We got some mushrooms coming in.
Mushroom people. Yeah. I love this game.
This game does not give you any semblance of what the hell you're supposed to do. You've got to figure everything out for yourself. It's like, look, if you can't figure this stuff out for yourself, fuck you. Don't play the game.
What's up, Snail?
No.
Oh, no.
You just came out of nowhere. Yeah. Just beat the shit out of stuff.
Mm-hmm. So it's just time that's debating whether you can use the power or not, right? Or is there any mana? Oh, actually, I see the mana bar now.
You have got a mana bar, yeah. There are very few enemies that require you to use mana that will drain it, and it does regenerate on its own. There's also a sleep mode you can enter, which if you feel like maybe you're in a safe place, you can enter rest mode, and all of your health and mana will regenerate. Obviously, there's a risk that you could get attacked while you're trying to sleep. Should there be anything about without any doors in between you and it?
Do you ever feel like you're safe enough to sleep?
I check around everywhere, even in real life.
Yeah, you gotta keep those corners covered.
That's why I keep my girlfriend on the side of the bed nearest the door.
Yeah, exactly. If somebody comes in, you need bait.
Just boot her out.
Yeah, exactly.
Leg out of the window. I'm glad she's not here. Get fucking kicking. What the fuck was I on about?
Snails.
Yeah. Oh, it's a scroll.
Slices.
So finally I found a scroll that tells me the code for using Fireburst.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately I figured that one out pretty simply.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was the first thing I tried, believe it or not.
Oh, wow. Nice.
But there's a load of other spells that take like 2 or 3 different runes to activate, and they're really early level spells. So that's why I've given her Throw a Knife on a Rock.
Because you don't know how to use it.
Else.
Yeah. Oh, I don't trust this snail.
There's 2 of them there.
Oh no!
So occasionally you will get attacked by multiple things. I got attacked in my save just recently by 3 dudes who came on either side of me. Like 2 guys attacking on either side of me and 1 from the front. And there was a gate behind me, so I was trapped in between these 3 guys. So I had to reload a save and figure out a way to sort of bottleneck them into a corridor so that I could take them on one at a time. So, learning how to use grids to your advantage, useful. This is actually, before I recorded this, this is the part where I completely fucked up using these pressure pads and locked myself inside where those snails are, with absolutely no way out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's
And it's my own fault. Like, you could argue that the game should allow you a way out, but
no,
I knew how pressure pads
that's
work.
no fun.
Yeah.
It's like, I know the pressure pads require these stones to be placed on them.
It should have deleted your save as well.
You're being careful now.
That's why I saved it before going over, just in case.
What do you think snails taste like? You ever had snail before?
I haven't, actually.
There's a gem.
I don't want them. I feel like they'd be slippery. I don't like slippery food.
Really? Like, not even like scrambled egg?
I don't like scrambled egg either. Although that's not really slippery.
It's kind of. It depends how you cook it, I think. If you do it too long, then it goes all rubbery, but, don't do it that long.
I cooked a poached egg earlier, that was slippery.
Man, I still can't do that. I know. I should learn. What's your go-to egg?
Poached.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, I love me a poached egg.
Damn.
I don't like eggs.
What's your method?
Properly poached as well, not in this bullshit poaching pan. Like, proper drop it in boiling water, and then whatever's left of the egg after 2 minutes is what you eat.
I hear people do this method where they get like cling film and then they put the egg in that and then they drop it into the water.
Yeah, my missus does that.
Man,
it works, I guess, if you want a shaped poached egg. I'm not too bothered.
But who wants that? Really?
There's also a way that I occasionally use if you're poaching multiple eggs to put the boiling water in a saucepan and twirl it around so that it creates a sort of cyclone of water, and then the eggs and then that stops them getting stuck together. This is the recipe podcast.
And you throw a little mushroom in there, and then we're okay.
I'm not having fucking mushrooms in my eggs. Fuck right off.
Not even like an omelette. I think omelette's my go-to.
Nah, I'm not a big fan of omelettes.
Dang.
I think it comes back to when my ex-girlfriend made me an omelette and it was like an inch thick. And that was just too eggy.
We have to, of course, address the fact that Josh said that he doesn't like eggs all that much.
No, not at all.
Man.
Don't like any eggs in any form.
That's like saying you don't like rock music. It's like there are options.
I don't like rock music. It's all noise.
Why don't all those gentlemen get a haircut?
Exactly. Get a real job, musician.
So I'm sleeping.
Your guy kind of looks like an alien. Is he supposed to be an alien?
Yeah.
That's my insect person.
Oh, I get you.
That's Scales. That was his name.
I would not be able to sleep there knowing that mushroom dude is just the other side of that gate.
Yeah. I'm a pretty sound sleeper. I got woke up today by a thunderstorm.
I do, yeah, that's been all over. My favourite thing, right, during a thunderstorm is to go on Twitter and search thunder, and then you know who is in your area and also who would tweet about thunder.
And then you just find out far too many people are listening to 80s rock bands of no relevance.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that could probably work for a lot of catastrophes. Like, it's a shame, like, speaking as somebody that uses Twitter quite a lot, but also, like, immediately after something dramatic happens, you wouldn't be overcome with grief until, like, you tweeted about it. I think that's the case for a lot of people.
You think Twitter is actually a way of accepting things?
Perhaps, yeah. Or, like, you're so used to talking about every event in your life that, like, something legitimately amazing happens, and, yeah, that's your first port of call. You have to let everybody know.
I actually did that, and I'm not even proud of it.
Really?
This is getting very off subject, but when my brother-in-law recently died, the first thing I did was go on Twitter and say about it, and then I felt really bad because...
Man. This
that instantly
dark
put the pressure on other people that follow me on Twitter to feel bad for me, and I didn't really want that.
You just needed to vent about it, really.
Yeah, but suddenly I'd implied that people should feel sorry for me, and I really didn't mean that, so I put out a retraction.
Oh God!
And then that made me feel even more weird because I felt I had to justify why I was using Twitter. Anyway, so that guy just died.
Yeah,
not my brother-in-law. I mean that guy.
He's a skull now.
Yeah, so now he's dead until I actually find... Now, at this point in the game, I didn't have a clue about the whole resurrection stone thing because I hadn't found it yet.
So you thought, let's go have a nap.
So, yeah, and that didn't work. So I just figured he was permanently dead. I thought, shit, now I got 3 characters, what the fuck am I going to do?
That's great.
And I'm looking at his character sheet, I'm like, he's still got experience, and he's got a bunch of gear, but he's a skull.
How much of how much more difficult does it make it just being a man down? Or is it just an obstacle you can kind of overcome?
Depends how much you use him. If that girl who can't do anything in the bottom right there died, I wouldn't really give a crap, but that guy was my main tank.
Dang.
He also has an ability, one of the traits I gave him at the beginning, which may have been seen when I was doing the character sheet part, was an ability where the more skulls he puts in his inventory, the more attack damage he does.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not to plug my stuff here, but we have a Dark Heresy podcast that we do. My character now has a trait that's very similar to this, only instead of getting stronger, he doesn't go insane.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yep. Dark Heresy is pretty fun.
I've never played it.
Yeah,
I've played a lot of role-playing games, but I never played Dark Heresy.
I really like it. I guess that's what we're here for, to plug our stuff.
Might as well. This is a special edition with ONVG in the house.
Yeah.
In his house.
Check out the podcast.
You should.
It's on hiatus right now, so this is a bad time to be here.
That's probably the wrong thing to say, but I don't listen to any of the BRB podcasts, but I do listen to your podcast,
well,
so there you go.
Thank you very much, Kev.
Aww.
I occasionally listen to the UK podcast.
Yeah, they're good guys.
But then Tim starts his basicallys, and then I run away. If you listen to the BRB podcast, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. He's a delight, that guy.
But we all love each other.
Yeah,
it's good.
So it's cool.
Physically.
Can you take stuff... Yep, lovingly. We love each other lovingly. Yeah. What the fuck am I saying?
So you're still looking for a way to resurrect Cowman?
Yes! Cowman's fucked. That's why I put him on the back row.
Yeah.
Because he was just taking up space. Although then, it's just occurred to me, is there a benefit to having a corpse on the front row? It's not as if he's going to take any damage.
There, I guess, yeah, but like within fiction, Does this mean that they're all carrying him around, or is he like he's
still
walking?
Yeah,
that's kind of gross. I guess you don't just die. I guess you like become a zombie or something.
Or oof. I don't know. Or they do literally just drag your carcass around.
Man, I think this game just got better.
Yeah.
What? Oh, what is that slot? Oh man. And you pressed that, and then somebody started playing Mass Effect 2. This is the power you have.
It's actually my sister as well.
Alright, so do you think we've seen everything?
Kind of. How much left have we got here?
A little while.
About 5 minutes. We might as well finish up the video. I mean, there's interesting things going on in this game, and as I say, this is the first floor. This is basically where you're teaching yourself, and I do mean teaching yourself, because the game certainly doesn't have any fucking sympathy for you.
But it does have cave nettles.
And on the second floor is where everything gets mental. Since I've been on the second floor, and I still haven't finished the second floor yet, the whole dungeon has shaken for no particularly good reason, and I've had an actual nightmare in which someone spoke to me.
Dude.
Oh, that sounds cool.
I am into this. Yeah.
Is that like
It's crazy good. Oh, it's one of the soldiers.
Nah.
Is there like an amnesia vibe going on here?
No, I haven't exactly felt terror at any point, although when things suddenly come out of nowhere, you do freak the fuck out.
I'm not cool with this dude.
His little stab dance.
Yeah. Who?
No, I haven't played Dark Souls yet. I fully intend to when the PC version comes out this summer.
Oh, but it's got games for Windows Live, so obviously we should pirate it.
Actually, you know what? I'm a PC gamer. I still don't understand what the beef of games for Windows Live is.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
If you know what it means for me is it gives you instant 360 controller support.
Yeah, there you go. And also, it makes like porting the multiplayer stuff over like a lot easier. So if you want it quicker, good. Yeah, there you go.
I seriously don't understand people's issue with it.
No, also,
it's been a very confusing thing to me since people started bitching about it, and I've been a PC gamer for years now, and it's never bothered me in the slightest. I suppose maybe because I have an Xbox account that's always logged in anyway, it doesn't bother me that much.
If you play a Games for Windows Live game that you've already played on Xbox, you get all the achievements again.
Yeah, you do.
So that's a cool thing. I've got 2 sets of achievements for Gears of War.
I found that out when I started playing the Fallout Game of the Year edition on PC, but suddenly realised I didn't want to go through Fallout 3 again.
Oh, dude, this is the nightmare.
Yeah, this is the nightmare.
Oh, whoa. This game's cool.
It is.
What is happening?
No one knows. I still don't know. And I've played through the game. As soon as we finish this up, I'm going straight back to playing this again because it's bloody great.
You were talking to...
I was talking about Dark Souls.
Yeah.
So my understanding of Dark Souls is that the combat is so great because all of the enemies follow the same sort of rules as you do in terms of combat mechanics, and that balances it out really nicely. And that's the same kind of way this plays. Like everything works to everything else's benefit. If that makes I made a
I understand what you're trying to say. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like everything follows the same rules, so everything seems fair.
No, I totally get that. Yeah, like, you'll catch characters in Dark Souls drinking from flasks to get their health back, which is something that, like, if you're doing at the start of the game, then you'll die. So it makes you feel really good when they make the same mistakes that you did. Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm assuming there are some levels of that in here.
So this bit here, I just found a scroll that told me when you find a steel door, look for small anomalies or something on surfaces to help you open the door. So I spent a little while clicking around the door just in case one of these little pixel-sized fucking round bits did something, and I was like, right, I'll close the menu just in case I'm missing something over here. It turns out there's actually a thing on the wall on the other side of the room that I pressed to open it. But the game absolutely doesn't make it obvious, and I love it for it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
They made you have this experience. Like, that's more than I can say about most other titles, and that's...
It really is.
Yeah.
It said, look, this is how you do it. Now, interpret that how you like, but understand that when you finally figure it out after 45 minutes,
you're going to be mad
you're
at
going to
us.
feel like an idiot.
You know
Because
what?
you should have fucking checked. You know about these things in the walls. You know, there's one there. You've just pressed it. It's not
it's
like you've got an
amazing
excuse.
that this is a game that just makes you stare at walls.
I know.
This is
There we
I'm
go.
looking at this whole room like there's a fucking chain. Maybe I'll go back to clicking the door. That might work now, maybe. Has this moss got something to do with it? Maybe one of these cracks? No, there's just another one of those blatantly obvious things in the wall on the other side of the room.
Ugh.
There's a part I just did where the clue on the wall... There you go. Finally bloody did it. The clue on the wall said... you cannot take weapons into this room. So I was like, how the fuck do I get through this gate then? Because it wouldn't open for me, so I just dumped all of my weapons on the floor, and it still didn't work. Then I turned around and realised there was one of these shelves, placed one weapon on it, and this is before picking the rest of them back up. And then the gate opened, and I got attacked by 3 snails. While all of my weapons were sat on the floor.
That's really cool. I like immersion gameplay like that is my favourite thing. Like, you have that story now because this game was developed in such a way as to allow you to have it. Man,
Yeah, and I just think it's going to keep coming.
Yeah,
It's incredible. I cannot advise... This game's only a tenner. I cannot advise enough that people should play this flipping game.
Oh,
I don't know what engine
whoa.
it's running in. Here's the magic crystal. So finally the guy gets revived. Cowman is back.
Yes.
sweet.
And the relief on my face that you can't see because this is a game. It was incredible. I was like, shit, I can finally use them again.
I noticed on the inventory screen, everything has a weight. Is there encumbrance, or is it just
Yes, there is.
cool?
There is absolutely encumbrance. I don't know what it does because I haven't been encumbered yet.
Oh,
But yeah, it's an issue. It probably
Okay.
just stops you from moving, I guess. But yeah. So this is actually the end of the first floor now. I finally found another spell that I can't use because you need a 3 for it.
Ugh.
Also, you do level up. None of my characters at this point have leveled up, but they do level up, and every time they level up, they get 4 points to spend in one of their abilities, so you can level up your magic, and that all goes up to 50 points per ability. So there's a shitload
Pretty high.
of abilities in there, an absolute crap load. Yeah, then you go down to the second floor.
So,
And this is
Grimrock.
about the end of the video
It's
now.
tenner on
Yeah.
Steam, and
Go and buy it. At worst, wait until it goes a bit cheaper on a sale or something, because there's bound to be a summer sale coming up on Steam soon. And yeah, that's the map. You can annotate it as you like,
And
or
they-
draw your own. I might draw my own
dude.
soon.
your own annotation.
Yep. Boom,
that's-
healing crystal.
That's sweet. Yeah.
Done.
yeah.
All right. There we go.
Yeah,
I would've
people should
been-
play this game. that's all I'm saying. I hope you've had an enjoyable ramble, guys. This has been
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's been a ramble. This is why we
Yes.
invented
It's
this.
been a
This is why
ramble.
we invented this feature. We never promised it was always going to be about a game.
If you like talking about eggs, come back.
Watch Community, listen to
Yeah.
OMVG, and play Grimrock. We're out.